This is the continent. And these are the towns and cities, blue, yellow, orange, green. Here are their inhabitants, who are all extremely clever in the sciences, the arts, gastronomy, and economy. They're also very gifted, it must be said, with a keen sense of efficiency, innovation, and progress. People just like you and me, really. Everyone wanted the highest skyscraper, the most beautiful version of this, the finest of that, the fastest whatever. They offered these things for the people of the neighboring continents to admire. They all liked each other, in a way. Oh, yes, indeed. They talked from time to time and wrote letters to each other. They held conventions, symposiums. They sometimes flirted. And some couples even got engaged to marry. But it didn't go beyond that. Some of them, however, had a much sharper attitude, and they decided to build tunnels or bridges, just to give their neighbors the benefit of their wonderful food, their mechanical devices, their smart tools. Let's call this lot the McBridges. But the others had a different approach. The big thing for them was to be nice and cozy, so they built walls. We'll call these the McWalls, though it's possible that some were both at the same time. A bit of a McBridge in one way, and like a McWall in other things. All that led to a terrible mix-up of bridges, walls, wires, factories, monuments. All the very best quality, needless to say, but a dreadful tangle all the same. And then one day... Yes! Red alert! Can't you see, over there, in the distance, that threatening continent looking really deadly? Can't you see those inhabitants armed to the teeth? They're on their way here, for sure. They've come to fish our precious herrings, our lovely lobsters, our only reason for living and hoping. They should have taken the offensive while there was still time. But the continent, unfortunately, despite all its wealth and equipment, was not well organized for that. Not a single town, whether green, blue, orange or yellow, no matter how courageous, was able to keep them out. There was only one thing to do. Rebuild the continent so it could defend itself, and then conquer. So then they began to use words that were new to them. Together, gathering, group. But what is a group? First of all, there will be no more McBridges and McWalls. Everybody will be the same colour. But whose colour? And why theirs and not ours? Right, they would find the average, a blend. But no, that wouldn't be very attractive at all. No, the thing to do was to use the personalities and talents of each one of us to create something harmonious and efficient. And what would be their common town? A mega tower block? Gigantic walls? Monstrously high bridges? No, nothing like that. Sure, they'll all be together, but everyone must be able to feel at home, with their own furniture, their tools, their techniques, their own methods of doing things. So they decided that the group would ideally look like this. Something like a place to live, a habitat for everyone, a place to get together and exchange. Something where each one knows that if a special tool is needed, this can always be found quickly from one of the neighbours. The same goes for a special recipe or a piece of information needed. Will they use this cornice in their building, which the Blues are so proud of? Or this statue, which means so much to the Oranges? Of course they will, because they respect the cultures of each one. And all these boxes called office, office, office. Well, just the minimum of those. We don't like bureaucracy very much. And these stones which the inhabitants have engraved with the proud symbols of their hope and their faith. Yes, of course, these will be included as well. And what will be put on the pediment of this amazing building? This magnificent bird found where the McBridges live, or this gigantic big number 1 from the McWalls. Ah, no, a little modesty, please. We'll see when the time comes. On the other hand, what we needed was a rule for this group, a code of good manners and a set of rules for living together, a charter. It would be displayed at the entrances to buildings and at crossroads, along with this formula, which is the foundation of the new mathematics of the group. So they drew up a charter. But this was still only a plan, the draft of a charter. But is a plan enough to succeed? History will tell us if, forgetting their good resolutions, they all stormed out in every direction and came to a tragic end. Or if, on the contrary, putting their plan, their charter, into concrete form, they were able to conquer new territories and put the enemy to flight.